Oh boy, the enemy never gives us rest. We got a letter from the attorney. I'll just go ahead and read it to you. Intercepted press statement. To whom it may concern, my name is FR. You know what? Let me see if I can make this a little bigger. I need my glasses. Hold on a minute. Yeah. Malthus Vane, attorney at law to the Order of the Jesuits, N.A. Incorporated. This press statement functions as a complete refutation of the claims of one Mrs. Gail Schuler, who goes by the moniker the Antichrist. Mrs. Schuler and her terrorist organization, the Church of Gail, is subject to a lawsuit in Texas for the murder of dozens of Indian nationals who are permanent residents of the United States of America. The Indian community of Frisco, Texas have established a political action committee, PAC, named Frisco Indians Against White Supremacy, FIAWS. This PAC aims to bring down the Church of Gail and cause it to pay for its heinous crimes against the Indian community. The Church of Gail, a known racial supremacist organization, has perpetrated several acts of genocide against the Indian people over its history. Really? Name them. That isn't true. I mean, yeah. Produce your evidence. The most recent of which was the pogrom of Indians at a so-called Compassion Center in Frisco. As I've said many times, we had nothing to do with that. This center was nothing more than a concentration camp. Yeah, I agree with that, but we had nothing to do with it. Or to use Mrs. Schuler's own words, a death camp aimed at the murder of Indians. They lured Indians in with the promise of unspeakable sex acts. You know, I have stated over and over again that I have asexual tendencies and that I have never viewed pornography my entire life. Why would I want to do such a thing? This is totally opposite who I am. It's ridiculous. These allegations are ridiculous. This center was nothing more than a concentration camp, or to use Mrs. Schuler's own words, a death camp. They lured Indians in with the promise of unspeakable sex acts. I think those sex acts are heinous. I have always been against all forms of rape, and I welcome you to do brain scans on me to see if I'm telling the truth. You go ahead and use lie detection on me. You go ahead. Use lie detection on me and make the results public. Yeah. And I want this attorney to have lie detection done on him, too. Yeah. He needs to subject himself to a lie detection scan. Okay. I'm willing to subject myself, and I'm willing to subject all of my friends at Church of Gail. Well, we will gladly go under lie detection and submit the results to the public. The Church of Gail, a known racial supremacist organization, has perpetrated several acts of genocide against the Indian people over its history, the most recent of which was the pogrom of Indians at a so-called Compassion Center in Frisco. This center was, okay, all right. They lured Indians in with the promise of unspeakable sex acts to comfort them for losing government food benefits. I'm under lie detection? That's not true. That isn't true. And you can put Magnus, Virginia, and them, and put them under lie detection, and they will deny that it's not true. We are not going to take this to court, because I'll tell you why. But we are willing to be put under lie detection and have the scan results revealed to the public. They lured Indians in with the promise of unspeakable sex acts to comfort them for losing government food benefits. After entering, said Indians were subjected to torture using drugs and violence. Yes, but we didn't do it. Put me under lie detection. We didn't do it. The Church of Gail caused the Indians to ejaculate over and over in an attempt to gather their semen for a heretofore unknown reason. I'm under lie detection. I didn't do it. That's garbage. This statement will expose exactly what the Church of Gail sought to do. Mrs. Schuler is a self-styled antichrist whose goal is to malign Christianity and set up a one-world government under her rule. Okay, I want Church of Gail to put me under a lie detection scan right now, okay? And let the public see that. Yeah. And before they put me under the lie detection scan, whoever's doing the scan, you need to state under penalty of death that to the best of your knowledge, this scan is accurate. And then administer the scan. Per Church of Gail documents, it has been discovered that Mrs. Schuler believes that she is allied with Satan unwillingly. I am not allied with him willingly. And I've made plenty of videos in the past to explain how I got stuck with this job, okay? And will eventually overthrow God himself. No, I love God. I don't want to overthrow him. I love God. And become a goddess. In her front to the public, she claims that she is the chosen of Jesus Christ. Well, Jesus has called me his favorite human in all the multiverses. Okay? I don't know if I'd go so far as to say his chosen, but yeah, that's what he says. And that her various and multitudinous misfortunes are the result of the Jesuit order and other groups aligned with and allied to Satan. That is true. We've been through hell because of them. It's a miracle we're alive. This is amusing. Yeah, Sun Tzu tried to lop my head off with a sword in July 2024, and Satan was playing along like he wasn't a part of it, but it was this game that they were playing with us. This is amusing given the fact that the Jesuit order is a public service-oriented organization. Well, that's their front. Did you know the Jesuit order was behind the Nazi concentration camps in World War II? Yeah. There's evidence for that. Put Adolf Hitler under lie detection and ask him if it's true. Did you know that Adolf Hitler was a devout Roman Catholic? Yeah. This is amazing. Okay. This is amusing given the fact that the Jesuit order is a public service-oriented organization whose mission statement is the propagation and defense of the teachings of Jesus Christ worldwide. Let me just say this. There are good Roman Catholics out there. Okay? And I love the Roman Catholic people. But unfortunately, the Jesuit order does have an evil history. Okay? I mean, it's a fact. They were behind the Nazi Holocaust. They financed it. They were behind the Nazi war machine. Hitler was just their puppet. There's a book called The Secret History of the Jesuits put out by Chick Publications that goes into this. This Antichrist ironically uses this cover to disguise the terroristic acts of the Church of Gail and to curry favor with average God-fearing and Bible-trusting people. Be not confused. Mrs. Schuler is precisely what she claims to be, an Antichrist. Well, as I've explained in my previous videos, the job got forced on me against my will. Okay? Yeah. I'm willing to become a goddess or anything to get out of it. This is because I love Jesus. This is true in the sense that she is against everything that our Lord Jesus Christ has ordained to be true and moral in this world. If Jesus was here, I'm under lie detection and I have dealt with Jesus, okay? He would disagree with you. Yeah. I'm under lie detection. Yeah, are you willing to be put under lie detection, you attorney for the other side? If not, you're a fraud. Either that or you're mentally insane. Maybe your root chakra needs to be fixed. Be not confused. Mrs. Schuler is precisely what she claims to be, an Antichrist. This is true in the sense that she is against everything that our Lord Jesus Christ has ordained to be true and moral in this world. Did you know that Jesus Christ when he left us in June 2022, left Brent in his place. He said, I want Brent to act in my place. Yeah, Jesus himself said that. Huh? I'm under lie detection. She relishes in violence and death. Oh, I hate violence and death. I hate it. I'm under lie detection. And she will stop at nothing to gain power and become a goddess. You know, I really could care less about becoming a goddess. I just am willing to do anything to get out of this job, Antichrist. The Frisco Compassion Center incident is no exception. Okay, what else? Let's see what else is in this garbage letter. Recently, Mrs. Schuler uploaded a video to her YouTube channel attempting to shift blame for a wide variety of events onto others. She claimed that the Frisco Compassion Center was an attempt by robots, automatons, yeah. The mainstream news doesn't report this, but yes, we were able to create sentient robots like androids from Lieutenant Commander Data in Star Trek The Next Generation. They do exist. Yes, they do. Oh, the news is covering up all their butts on. Mainstream news lies to you about everything. The only reliable news source is 00 on cable. Attempt by robots to engage in a kind of brain surgery on the average person to turn them into willing or unwilling slaves. Yeah, it's true. That's what I believe. This, of course, is impossible. No, it's not. It's happening. I'm under lie detection. All I have to say is, attorney for the other side, I'm under lie detection, okay? And my side is willing to produce the lie detection evidence to the world. So I sincerely believe that everything I'm saying is the truth, which lie detection will verify. So you're going to have to make several conclusions here. Either I'm insane or maybe dangerously insane, in which case, if I'm insane, the case can be dropped by reason of insanity. Yeah. So if either I am insane or I'm telling the truth as I believe the truth to be. Okay? If I'm insane, you can't take me to court over being insane. Okay? Yeah. Indeed, the Frisco Center was covered in Church of Gail markings. Yeah, we were framed, for God's sake, and advertisements. Because the massacre was uncovered, the Church of Gail has sought fit to divert attention from it and point the finger at its enemies. Actually, we're exposing your butts, which is the reason you're getting so nervous and trying to drag us in court. And God knows what you're going to do to us in that courtroom. We're not going to there. We are not going to any courtroom with you. We declare war on you guys. Mrs. Schuler has also claimed, I don't trust him, man. He's probably an attorney for the enemies that we're at war with. Mrs. Schuler has also claimed that another compassion center in Arlington, Virginia was a Jesuit and the brain-controlling Jesuits, okay? The brain-controlling Jesuits. And thin privilege movement effort to brainwash its unsuspecting victims. That's exactly what I believe it was. I'm under lie detection. This cannot be further from the truth. Rather, as the news has correctly reported, the Arlington Center was another death camp of abuse and crime. Yeah, definitely. Disgusting what those Jesuits are doing and what the thin privilege movement is doing. And I'm under lie detection, and I bet you can sense how disgusted I feel over this. There, the Church of Gail sought to pretend that the Jesuit order and the thin privilege movement had attempted to brainwash its invitees. Yeah, I really believe that. So I'm either insane or telling the truth. When the center's activities were exposed by one of our undercover members, the Church of Gail fabricated a car bombing. Actually, I think the automatons who wanted to cover their butts about what they were doing at that center, they had the whole thing. They framed us. The Church of Gail fabricated a car bombing of the site in a manner reminiscent of the Oklahoma City bombing. Oh, that's a brilliant cover-up on your part, man. You're just covering your butts. Lawyer, you probably work for the Jesuits, man. Put yourself under brain control. I think you're probably a big liar. One of their agents named Bradley, he's just one of my Patreon supporters, drove his Grand Cherokee into the building filled with fertilizer, and put Bradley under lie detection. Yeah, put him under lie detection. Ask him if he was the one who drove that Grand Cherokee into the building filled with fertilizer and detonated the vehicle. Go watch 00 on cable and see what the results of that lie detection is, okay? Hundreds of former government workers perished in the attack. Oh, how terrible! How could you guys do this? And you, attorney, you're probably one of their cucks. Huh. These workers were furloughed due to the immoderate and uncharitable austerity policy of the current presidential administration. Trump is doing the best he can, but we are at war with a formidable enemy, okay? Trump is doing a hell of a good job, and so is my husband. How dare you accuse my husband of doing a bad job? If it wasn't for you, these thugs would have taken over the planet by now, and you'd all be dead. We believe that the driver perished in the bombing. Oh, a suicide bomber. Really good way to make yourself look innocent. The crimes committed within the center range from sexual abuse of those kidnapped therein to the use of chemicals to drug them. Yeah, that's an abomination. Shame on you, lawyer. You did it. Made you and your friends. Yeah, we're exposing your dirty butts, and now you got to make me look like I did it. To orgiastic rights. Hey, I am not this kind of a person. I have asexual tendencies. Why would I want to be involved with something so disgusting? To me, that's gross. Where's the puke bucket? I want to throw up just thinking about this. To orgiastic rights in support of their satanic beliefs and ultimately murder. Yeah, I agree. These murders were perpetrated by two of their most skilled killers for hire. Magnus the Red. Oh, come on. Put Magnus under lie detection and ask him if he's behind any of these compassion centers. Same with Virginia Opossum. Put him under lie detection. And before he does the lie detection, have him swear under penalty of death that he's telling the truth. Both being accomplished thieves and gangsters on the Church of Gail's payroll. We call for assistance in apprehending these evildoers. No, you are not going to apprehend them. We are at war with you. And I'm not going to waste my time going to court with an enemy in war. For all I know, you might bomb the courtroom and then say we did it. The Church of Gail attempted to use ancient calumnies against the Jesuit order to pin this on us. They claim that an evil priest and his entourage encouraged the kidnapped innocents to partake of male ejaculate from a chalice? Really? Where did that come from? I don't remember saying that. This obviously anti-Catholic rhetoric is merely a way, maybe one of your agents said it and they claim to be us. This obviously anti-Catholic rhetoric is merely a way to deploy poignant imagery to a population which has been fed Catholic stereotypes through horror movies like the Conjuring series. What? Never even heard of the Conjuring series. So how could I have done it when I don't even know what it is? Oh, I've heard of The Exorcist or The Nun. Evangelical superstitions about Catholicism are the erroneous cultural backdrop for this clear lie. I'm going to show you guys something. Where is this? Yeah. You guys need to check this book out, man. Secret History of the Jesuits by Edmund Paris. Yeah, they almost, I think they killed that writer too. Yeah, they don't like getting exposed. They'll kill you if you expose them. And they own the mainstream media. That's why you never hear the truth about stuff. They were behind the Nazi Holocaust. Mrs. Schuler's bigotry against the overweight population of the United States is also notable. You know, I wish I didn't have to go talk about the stupid thin privilege movement. But remember the Boston Marathon bombings in 2013? That was a bunch of fat women who, for some strange reason, felt like the world was picking on them because they were fat. They felt like if doctors diagnosed them with health problems because of their obesity, that they were being treated unfairly. And they were so angry about being labeled over this that they put bombs underneath their breasts and went into the Boston Marathon bombing and exploded, left the bombs there and exploded and killed a bunch of people in Boston. Yeah, that's what really happened. It was blamed on some Muslims, but they didn't do it. It was these fat women. They were the thin terrorist movement, and there's a subgroup of them that's out right now, okay? Yeah. And they're the ones behind all these murders. A bunch of fat women who've got a problem, man. They think the world's prejudiced against them because they're fat, and they're willing to kill you if they think you're prejudiced against them. Okay, what is this? The Church of Gail attempted to use... Okay, what? Let's see here. Oh, yeah, okay. Mrs. Schuler's bigotry against the overweight population of the United States is also notable. I wish I didn't even have to think about them. She and her followers conjured up an obese boogeyman to rally against. No, this is not... I'm not making this up. They're really killing people. They're a terrorist organization. Given this administration's contempt for people struggling with their weight, no, we just want them to be healthy. They need to practice the Gail commandments, calories in, calories out, okay? And quit making excuses for being obese and being mad because we think it's healthier for them to lose some weight, okay? Okay, we know that the Church of Gail is exploiting the rise of hateful sentiments in this country. Well, if they're going around killing people like what they're doing at these centers, and we're exposing them, that's reporting the facts. That's reporting the news. But you guys call it hateful sentiments. I guess you can't stand having your dirty butts exposed, right? Because you're a bunch of murderers. This also explains the obvious Nazi affiliation of the Church of Gail. Oh, I have disowned it. Because I'm getting sick of being aligned with everything the Nazis did that was bad. The Church's admonition of the entire country of India for its cultural practices thereby stands in sharp relief. Their Indian Gael commandments are a marginalizing statement inconsistent with Christian love. You guys need to get your root chakra fixed. There are more suitable ways to address human rights concerns around the world than proclaiming the 10 commandments of hate and prejudice. No, we're trying to help you guys. You would be healthier if you followed those commandments. Even Hindu goddess Lakshmi agrees. The Church of Gail also attacked the Mexican-American immigrant population in San Diego recently. No, we were trying to feed them. But unfortunately, there was a Tajin vendor who didn't work for us, put me under lie detection, put Brad and all them under lie detection. They didn't work for us. And they were there to sabotage our efforts. They assisted ICE in deportations at the same time as engaging in several murders themselves, taking advantage of the unfortunate earthquake. Yeah, the reason there was an earthquake is because you put DNA-free substance in the Tajin, right? And it made this poor Mexican woman bloom out and get as fat as, like a dinosaur, and she caused the earthquake. Did you know there is a Sarah Avery? Yeah. There's a Sarah Avery woman who she was a medieval Jesuit. The Jesuits created her and encouraged her to eat like a pig. She got so fat that if we didn't intervene, she would have caused a black hole and none of us would be here talking to each other. You ought to be grateful that Church of Gail is around because we're the reason you still have a universe to live in, you dumbasses. Let's continue. God, what's such stupidity? We know that the Church of Gail is exploiting the rise of hateful sentiments in this country. This also explains the obvious... Okay, The Church's admonition of the entire country... Okay, let's go past this. There are more suitable ways to address human rights concerns around the world than proclaiming a 10 commandments. Okay. Taking advantage of the unfortunate earthquake. Oh, I already told you how the earthquake happened. Don't believe the lying news media. We seek to remind the public. I'm under lie detection, you guys. So if now you're going to have to go after... You can't sue me if I'm insane. Okay, I'm under lie detection. We seek to remind the public that the Pope has commanded us to care for immigrants and to care for the foreigner in accordance with Scripture. Very admirable. Let's hope that's what he's really doing. Moreover, the Church of Gail continued its genocidal campaign through another ruse, the Food for the Needy program. For God's sake, I'm trying to help people, and you're saying that I did that as a ruse? And we lost some of our drivers. You saw that. You murdered them. And then you said we did it. You put like these bombs underneath them, the same kind that you used in Iraq. Yeah, that shot up in there. Oh, you have the most disgusting semen bombs. I'm under lie detection. And feel my emotions and what I think about all your semen and sexual practices. It makes me want to puke. This program used the guise of helping the poor who had been deprived of their food. It wasn't a guise. In my heart, I was sad for them. I wanted to help them. I thought, you guys are so mean. And I think you switched out the people in the Senate to cause this government shutdown. I think they've all been replaced with bad clones. You guys are monsters who had been deprived of their food benefits to commit mass murder as well as to foment civil unrest. You guys are the one fomenting civil unrest. More than 100,000 innocent African Americans were slain. You know what? I think those African Americans might have suffered brain switch-outs or were under brain control. You did it. Put yourself under lie detection, you murdering thug. When the Church of Gail sent sabotage trucks to deliver food, these trucks inevitably exploded or crashed, killing the drivers. Oh, that's so awful what you guys did. It's so awful. You guys are terrible. I'm trying to stop you. I'm under lie detection and emotion reads. The drivers were another 1,000 or so victims of this insanity. Yeah, your insanity. Today, November 10th, 2025, the Church of Gail has posted a disgusting memorial video for the deceased driver. Disgusting. What you did was disgusting. We want the world to know what you did. You need to be exposed. This memorial mocks the memories of the drivers whose deaths the Church of Gail orchestrated. Oh no. Put us all under lie detection. We had nothing to do with it. We're horrified over what you did to these people. My heart was genuinely sad. Do an emotion read on me. Let the whole world see it on Gabriel Ton of Fox News. I was so sad to learn about this. And I want you under emotion read, you attorney. And if you refuse to do it, then you're guilty as hell. According to foreign intelligence reports, the Church of Gail tainted the food they were to deliver. Ah! No, that's not true. This food would poison the recipient and cause them great physical pain and discomfort. Oh, you guys are so mean. How could you do this? We're trying to help them, and you sabotaged our efforts. You guys are monsters. The recipient would then be encouraged to overeat. Oh, you guys are so terrible. And they would either die of their indulgence or explode due to unknown biological agents. We just wanted to prevent you from causing 1/8 of the American public to starve because you orchestrated this government shutdown. And then we go and try to help them, and you dare. You're the ones who did this. Attorney, I want you under lie detection. He's either insane or lying. And do you oppose all forms of brain control, you Jesuit lawyer, you? I bet you're a Jesuit lawyer. Surveys state that thousands have died in this manner. The Church of Gail then fabricated testimonials from those it allegedly fed. Oh. Lie detection. Find out if they were fabricated. Virginia, Brad, all of you, go under lie detection. Let the whole world see it. And this attorney needs to go under lie detection too. Yeah. Including the tasteless and humorless attribution of one letter to a Holocaust survivor. Unfortunately, this administration is also complicit in these Church of Gail acts of terrorism. As such, We will seek redress against all involved parties. I'm going to tell you this right now. I am going to issue a formal declaration of war against the thin privilege movement and all Jesuits who willingly, we're going to call you the brain-controlling Jesuits. Formal declaration of war. And we certainly are not going to show up in any courtroom with you because we are at war with you and we don't trust you. Currently, Mrs. Schuler claims that the Jesuit order has been attempting to mass harvest male ejaculate from people around the United States in order to create an army of clones opposed to her interests. This is what I believe. I'm under lie detection. The truth is quite different, and you need to go under lie detection. We have reason to believe that the Church of Gail has instead been the perpetrators of this mass harvesting. You know, just because I'm brilliant enough to figure this out because I'm getting an IQ that, God, I don't know how high it is, but it's pretty high, doesn't mean that I did it. Huh? It just means that I'm seeing through your sophisticated conspiracy. This seems to be true from the Frisco Center incident. The reason for this is quite disturbing. Reliable informants have provided us with the dark details. Mrs. Schuler's satanic attempt to become a goddess requires vast quantities of semen. Why would becoming a goddess require semen? Are you a little retarded? You become a goddess when your chakras expand. That doesn't require semen. You're either dumb or evil. I don't know what your problem is. Once their harvest is complete, Gail will consume or bathe in the ejaculate. Oh, gross! Woo! I can't think of anything. Where's the puke bucket that I would rather not do? Ugh, gross. That's disgusting. How many times do I have to tell you guys that I have asexual tendencies and ascend to goddesshood? Crap. Of course, this will not happen, but it points to the insanity of the Church of Gail organization. Mrs. Schuler claims that an oversized chicken of some sort will be a rival goddess in their fight. Well, we've been trying to figure out why we've been meeting Muppet Gail and Chicken Gail, and I thought maybe that's it. I mean, she doesn't make any sense to us. You guys have created her. I don't know why, but that's what we think it is. And right now, I think you guys are trying to cover your butts because I think I'm very close to the truth. And no way are we going to show up in court with you guys. You guys are tricky and dirty. I wouldn't go under the roof with you next to me anywhere. God knows what you would do. We're at war with you guys. Why would we want to go to court with somebody we are at war with? It is time for the American people to say no to the rise of this Antichrist and to put to bed this madness. It is time for the American people to realize that the mainstream media is lying to you and to realize that we are at war with the thin privilege movement and the brain-controlling Jesuits, and if you trust them, they will kill you. And then they'll blame it on me. The Church of Gail's historical acts of terrorism and genocide cannot be understated. We have saved this world, but you know what? Oh, let me turn this alarm off. Did you know when Angelina Ballerina launched a Sarah Cocky to this world on January the 6th, 2017, that Zach Knight and I risked our lives? That bomb had the power to destroy this universe 3 times over. We risked our lives. I used my Gail shield to stop that bomb from hitting Earth. If not for us, you wouldn't even have a universe. Bunch of ungrateful retard wretches. The Church of Gail's historical acts of terrorism. We also saved you from the Gail android. Yeah, the Gail android in 2012. She was an automaton. She was planning on taking over this planet. And we saved you from her too. And we actually died in that battle. And Jesus had to resurrect us. Yeah. Would you be willing to die for the human race like that, you attorney, huh? You scumbag. The Church of Gail's historical acts of terrorism and genocide cannot be understated. However, a full condemnation of this organization would take days to complete. Unfortunately, I have neither the patience nor the years required to list them all. Yeah, but why don't you just go through all my old YouTube videos to learn about all the atrocities that the Jesuit order has committed? Yeah. Rather, the purpose of this statement is to refute the recent events as told by the Church of Gail spin doctors. Spin doctors. Just about every mainstream news media out there is a spin doctor. We call for the international community to condemn the Church of Gail and bring it to heel before it perpetrates another Holocaust. I got news for you guys. The Holocaust has already started and they're doing it. Yeah. And they're using us as their scapegoats. The satanic panic of the 1980s may have been a baseless hoax, but we may see the very real rise of a brand new panic due to these revelations. However, this time, the allegations of the church, what is that? Yours in Christ, F.R. Malthus, Vane, Esquire, the Baloney Factory. Okay, we will not go to court with you. We are at war with the thin privileged terrorist movement and the brain-controlling Jesuits. As part of our declaration of war, we're going to do a scan on anybody that we suspect is a willing and knowing brain control supporter. And they will be publicly executed on Gabriel Chan of Fox News. We are going to try to make sure we are just in this. Okay? Because if we don't take them out, they're going to take us out. They were behind these atrocities. This video is a formal declaration of war. Okay? Against the thin privileged terrorist movement and the brain-controlling Jesuits. Only the Jesuits that are willing and knowing brain control supporters will be taken out. Because there are good Roman Catholics and there are good Jesuits. Unfortunately, there has been a split in the Catholic Church, and some of them belong to the I call them the brain. So we have a declaration of war against the brain-controlling Jesuits, those who willingly and knowingly support brain control. And they've been dropping brain control drugs above us. They actually brain controlled these people into going to these compassion centers or death camps, working with the automatons who do exist. Their leader is automaton Sun Tzu, who betrayed us in July 2024. All you have to do is go listen to all my bad YouTube videos. We've talked about it. We are not going to go in any courtroom with you guys because we are at war with you. This video is a formal declaration of war against the terrorist thin privilege movement and the brain-controlling Jesuits. Okay? When you are at war with somebody, you don't waste your time in court with them. Because they don't respect your laws and we don't respect theirs. Because we are at war. And we're going to try to save this world from a Jesuit brain-controlling Holocaust. And I wanted to read something here from this guy. He said, "Hi, Gail. Thank you so much for letting Brad, Magnus, and Virginia investigate the center to look for my wife. I am shocked and dismayed at the news. I had my suspicions that she had Jesuit sympathies, but I never thought that she would drink the Kool-Aid, so to speak. I am truly at a loss with my life now. We have a beautiful 4-year-old daughter who has now lost her mother. If possible, I would like to be granted refugee status aboard the Church of Gail. I cannot let this go unpunished, and I will commit all of my efforts to the fight against these atrocities." Yeah, I'm sure my men will let him in. Yes, we are at war for this. So sorry. That was terrible what they did to your wife. So sorry. It makes me cry, all the suffering that they cause. I'm under brain control, you guys. I wish it would stop. But no, we are at war with you. We will not go to court with you. We don't trust our enemy in war. When two countries are at war with each other, they don't go to court. They fight to win the war. Okay? There's another thing. I was discussing this with my followers. They showed me this garbage letter from this guy. And I said, I think we need to issue a formal declaration of war against the thin privileged terrorist movement and the brain-controlling Jesuits. We refuse to go to court with someone we are at war with. This attorney needs to be willing to subject himself to a scan to prove that he opposes brain control in all its forms. If not, we can safely assume he is an enemy we are at war with. We gladly submit ourselves to such a scan to show that we oppose brain control in all its forms. If he proceeds with this lawsuit, he will be treated as a soldier for the enemy that we are at war with. We cannot risk showing up at a courtroom that could be rigged against us by an enemy that we are at war with. As Jesus once told us in December 2020, when we took Satan to court, it's a waste of time to go to court with someone you are at war with. They don't respect your laws, and court is a waste of time. It'll just be a joke. The case needs to be dropped, and those who refuse to drop it will be considered an enemy in this war. If they are a willing and knowing brain control supporter, which we can determine by a scan, they will be executed. We are at war. We will gladly provide proof that all in our party are against all forms of brain control and that our enemy is for brain control. Actually, no proof is necessary. It's obvious we are at war. You don't waste your time taking an enemy to court that you are at war with.
Darkness reigns. There's a warrior rising, breaking free from chains. She's Gail Schuler, her heart's pure and strong. With the power of love, she'll right the world's wrongs. Yeah. She's the first, a passionate crusader. Stand by the side of your conquer it all. Through space battles and